All right, welcome to another coordinate geometry class. Earlier on, we have started talking about different aspects of coordinate geometry. We started by talking about finding gradient, find the midpoint with line segment. We talked about um, find distance between 2 points. And right in this very class, we're going to be advancing beyond those three. At the last class, actually, we talked about finding or identifying the gradient and the y-intercept in a given equation. We first talked about the two forms, very common two forms of ways of writing equations. We talked about the general form of equations of a linear equation of a straight line. We talked about the gradient y-intercept form of the equation of a straight line. So we are still on to equation of a straight line. We are actually going to, in this particular lesson, we're going to be finding or working out the equation of a straight line. Last time, we identified the gradient and the intercept from a given equation of a straight line. The equations in the last lesson we had were given either in the gradient intercept form or they were given in the general form. When given in the gradient intercept form, it was easier for us to identify the gradient m and the y-intercept c. But when given in the general form, we had to arrange in the form that is the gradient intercept form to figure out what the gradient m and what the intercept on the y-axis c was. But now we are going to be finding or writing the equation of a straight line when we are given the gradient and we are given a point on the straight line. The straight line is actually gotten from drawing the line that joins all points on our Cartesian plane. When we draw the line that joins all the points in our Cartesian plane, then we have the straight line or the equation, we have the straight line graph of that particular equation. Now, if we are given a point, for example, as we have here, we are having a point and then we are having the gradient given to us. We are going to be using this to find the equation of a straight line. Now, we have written here a formula that we are going to be using to do that. And the formula is y minus y1 equals m times bracket x minus x1. Now the y and the x here represents the y and x that remains in our equation, which you will be coming up with, which we end up with. Y, the x1 and the y1 represents the value in the coordinate point. For example, here we have a coordinate point given to us 3, 2. So our x1 and y1 will always be the value of x and y in the coordinate point that will be given. Ym, we have said before that m represents our gradient or slope. So the m here represents the gradient or slope that will be given in any question in particular. So you can find the equation of a straight line with gradient m and coordinate x1, y1 by using the formula y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So like I already said, this is about find the equation of a straight line given the gradient and a point on the straight line. So let us get started with this very first example. Now remember, we have always said something about identifying which of the coordinates is your x1, y1. Of course, we have only 1 point here, so definitely my x1, y1, which is the only required in this case, we don't have any other points, so my x1, y1 is definitely 3, 2. The next thing I will be doing is actually stating my gradient, which is a m, that is 5. And then I recall my formula, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. After that, you substitute the values into your given equation. That will be y minus 2 equals 5 times x minus 3. Remember, my my y1 is 2 and my x1 is 3. So that will be x minus 3. So simplifying that means opening the bracket on my right hand side. That will be 5x minus 15. Further simplification gives us y equals 5x minus 13. All right, so that solves it for this particular one. Now let's see another example that says, find the equation of the line with gradient 1 minus 1 over 2 that passes through the point 4 comma minus 6. It is not enough for you to just pick out the values for the parameters in the question, in the formula. Is important that you also understand what the question is about. Find the equation of a line with gradient that passes through the point. The gradient is given, a point through which the line we are asked to find this equation passes is given. So let's get on with it. Our x1, y1 is, of course, 4 comma minus 6. Our m, which is the gradient, is minus 1 over 2. Then our formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, in simplifying, substituting, we have y minus minus 6. Remember, the y1 came with its own negative sign. So we have y minus minus 6, then equals minus half times x minus 4. We have y plus 6 equals minus half x plus 2. The minus half multiplies the minus 4 and it gives us 2. Remember, negative sign turns negative sign inside, for the minus 4 to plus. And the 1 over 2 multiplies 4 to give us 2. Now the final answer we have here will give us y equals minus 1 over 2 x minus 4. It's possible to also rewrite this in such a way that our equation is having no fraction. All we do is to multiply through by 2 or minus 2. And then you can also decide to write in the general form. That is in the form of ax plus by plus c equal to 0. All right, now for our final example in this lesson today, we have find the equation of the line with gradient minus 1 over 3, which passes through the point 1 comma minus 2. As always, as previously done in the last example, we substitute in our equation and then we simplify. Of course, we simplify, we come up with a 3y equals minus x minus 5. That becomes the equation, or you can decide to write in this manner. You can decide to also write in the form 3y plus x equals minus 5. Or you write in the general form, that becomes x plus 3y plus 5 equal to 0. All right, whichever way you are asked to leave the answer, let's stick to that. If we are not given any particular way to leave our answer, then we can leave it in any of these forms. That does it on this particular lesson. In our next lesson, we are going to be finding the equation of a straight line given 2 points. So we're going to be talking about finding the equation of a straight line given 2 points, 2 point form. And until then, it is bye for now.